Oh, wait. I have something for this.
Hello there.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
General Kenobi.
Brother. Oh my gosh.
We
I'm
are
gonna
on
switch
episode 4 of the podcast. Shall we name a gaming industry? Oh, I just already named the topic. Wow. Look at that. Already messing up these intros.
Perfect. Come on, man. Come
I'm just
on.
fantastic. Oh, my goodness. So today's episode of the Nerd and Weeb podcast is gaming industry. All things gaming related. We're going to talk about fun things. And especially with the PlayStation showcase that happened yesterday.
Still didn't watch that. I see. So here's the thing, right? Here is what I've discovered about co-hosts, right? Admit the fuck up. No.
Well, we've been through this, my man. We ain't co-hosts now. We are hosts
that is
together.
True. That is facts. That is
what
true.
I'm doing, Al Pacino. Maybe it's because
you gotta.
Don.
I was about to say you gotta do Scarface now. You gotta, I say hello to my little friend, and then
you put the glasses,
and then have some crazy. Yeah. This has been too much the last couple of days. Wow.
Yeah.
Like the ring light, bro, specifically has been giving me a headache. But ayo,
is that why you fell asleep through our last podcast day? Shots fired.
So like the thing about that is, and yes, that was my fault. I'd stayed up until like I want to say 3 or 4 in the morning the night prior, and slept all the way through it. I literally woke up like 12 my time, almost 12 my time that day, with BaZz messaging me saying, "Yo, dude, are you awake? Like, what the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh my fucking!" I was too busy grinding ranked until 3 in the morning, bro. So that's my bad. I do apologize, and I stayed up until 3 last night playing Minecraft. But I had an alarm set that I still slept through. By the way, I don't even know if it went off. I just woke up at 9:10. So,
good job.
My phone is stupid. I need to buy a new one. But we're here. We, like you said, are going to talk about gaming industries. The PlayStation showcase, I didn't watch like any highlights really of anything, but I know you were watching it.
Yep.
Mentioned Spider-Man 2? Like, I mean, I guess we can start off with that. What the fuck?
Right? So, yeah, Spider-Man 2. He's coming back. Honestly, sounds like Sasuke from Naruto. I love it. It's the same voice actor, but the first game you couldn't really hear it. But now since he has a symbiote, he's got his Bully Maguire attitude going off, and he just sounds like such a badass. There's a scene in the trailer where they're chasing Dr. Connors. Of course, they brought back the lizard, and Kraven the Hunter is in the game.
Oh, that's so good because and Dr. Connors turns into the lizard, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so in this scene, they're chasing
canonical.
So they're chasing Dr. Connors while having Kraven the Hunter's goons after them, and Miles looks at Peter, and he's like, they're getting away, blah blah blah. Like, be careful, like Dr. Connors has teeth, and then it zooms in on Peter's face. He's like, so do I, and you see the symbiote on his face and stuff, and it's awesome. It was so cool. And then you see Spider-Man just go and swing off, and Genki is just like, he's not normally like that, is he? And then Miles like, no, he's not. And so I feel like there's gonna be some kind of boss battle with Peter and Miles.
Ooh.
Yeah, because even in the logo, when they do like Spider-Man 2, it does Miles's electricity Venom strike over the symbiote, and the symbiote vanishes.
That's interesting. Interesting. I'm super hyped now. You can fucking bet that I'll be doing like a full platinum trophy run.
Oh, same here.
For both games to get hyped for that.
I'm still working on the PS5's platinum. I've done the PS4 version of Spider-Man as platinum, but I haven't done the remastered PS5 version for platinum. So I'm working on that one. I've already done Miles like twice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the homie Sandwich, Revived Sandwich, a fucking shout because he is doing a lot of platinum runs. He doesn't do them too much on Twitch anymore, but when we get him rolling on YouTube and everything, I'm gonna fucking make him do these runs with me because he is the plat runner, and I've 100%ed a couple of games like back on the PS3 days,
right.
but I don't think I actually have a platinum trophy.
Really?
Like I've never completed all the challenges and like actual trophies that you'd have to get. I'd like 100% completed the game, you know, like all unlockables, you know, completed like, you know, anything like that. But I feel like the trophies, they add more challenges than just 100%ing the game, and that's what I never pushed on. So, yeah, really super excited to try them though.
Yeah. So other than Spider-Man, they also announced a remake of Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. So they're titling it Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater.
Ooh, okay, interesting.
Originally, it was called Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eaters. I wonder why they're calling it Delta. Maybe it's to distinguish it from like the older game instead of saying that it's a remake. Yeah, so they're bringing that back. It's a remake, and they're bringing back. They're calling it the Master Collection Volume 1, Gear Solid 1 and 3, which I'm assuming will be HD.
Okay.
I don't know if you played Metal Gear Solid, but it's a fantastic series.
You know, and I was just about to say that I'm like, this is why I'm like co-host material, right? It's fucking. I hadn't played too much of a Metal Gear Solid series. I think I might have played Snake Eater on the PS2 in the old days, but then I discovered this fucking wonderful game that they should bring back. Mercenaries.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Mercenaries, bro. I was like, this is so much better than Metal Gear Solid. And like, Metal Gear Solid is cool because it has like the that classic Hideo Kojima fucking feel, you know, where he just throws random demons into his story, or like some crazy paranormal shit. I'm here for it.
We're throwing in some powers.
I will say that when Phantom Pain came out on the PS4, the homie had it before I even had a PS4, and I was like, dude, I need to get one so I could play games like this. And like I think he had Modern Warfare Remastered when it came out too. I was like, oh, that's pretty lit, dude. I want that.
I was kind of disappointed in Phantom Pain, just because it didn't, like, they went more of like an open world aspect.
I like that though, because it kind of felt like Mercenaries. That's why I love Phantom Pain personally, because Mercenaries Playground of Destruction hits a special place at home.
Fair enough.
I don't know if you guys have ever played that, but oh my gosh.
Another thing from there was other games obviously from that showcase, but they announced new hardware for PlayStation. And so it's a handheld.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
Yeah,
yes,
I believe it's like Project X or Q or whatever. I think it's Project Q. And basically it's like a handheld controller, but it has a screen in the middle, and it almost looks like what you would get for like a mobile device, like where you put your phone in that has like controllers on the side. But this, you can stream your games from your PS5, and what they're saying is that you can stream it through Wi-Fi. I don't believe you can do it off of Wi-Fi. So I'm curious if you need your PlayStation on, or if you just need to.
I was gonna say if it's like connected
and linked it together. Because then, like, if I could,
because the PS Vita was honestly a really cool concept.
It was great.
It just wasn't.
It died quick.
I didn't ever buy one.
I had one for a little bit. I remember bringing my PS Vita to the Halo 4 launch night, and it was great. I was playing Uncharted, and it felt like you were actually playing a PS3 game. It didn't feel like you're playing a PSP, PlayStation 2. It was genuinely good. Its graphics were great. There was Call of Duty on it as well. I believe it was Black Ops Declassified. Um,
Okay.
it was a lot of fun. It was a great system.
I did.
It just
Yeah.
didn't get enough attraction. And I think its big contender was Nintendo. And
The Switch.
yeah,
It came out at the wrong time.
and I feel like what PlayStation is doing is they're not attacking Nintendo. This is in any way their response to the Nintendo Switch. This is their version to kind of be like, hey, you can do this. Like if you want to play your PlayStation in another room or something, because the fact that they said you can only access it through Wi-Fi proves that it's not really top contender
That's kind of
for Nintendo.
right.
Well, because
I was about to say, we've already seen that because they have at one point tried to be a contender for Nintendo.
They know they can't be Nintendo when it comes to handheld.
And I'll share a personal story with you guys that it's actually kind of a rip on my part. I think it was for my 12th birthday, something like that. My 10th or 12th birthday, one of the two. I had the option of getting a Nintendo DS with Force Unleashed,
okay,
or a PSP. Mind you, this is when they were still making the PSPs that played the little DVDs in them, the same ones that
I remember those. Those were great.
Josh Hutcherson had in Journey to the Center of the Earth. Yeah, he was Googling at 30,000 feet, and I could have done that, if I had chosen the PSP. But you know what I chose?
That was the DS.
I chose the DS, and I love my DS.
Choice.
But honestly, playing the Force Unleashed series on either of those was kind of whack.
It was
because
a completely different game.
On every system, because I think there was a Wii version. I can't remember if there was a Wii version.
So
they're all different.
Well, the Wii version, I believe, was the only one that was solely different, and then the PS2, I think they didn't do an Xbox version.
The DS one was different.
Yeah, the DS and the PSP, those were all different, but the Xbox 360 and PS3, those were the same versions. Like those were the real versions of the game. It's weird that they did it that way.
Well, and I never bought the DLC or anything like that through the PlayStation Store. And this is
on that. I was
we're getting sidetracked on this. I do apologize, but like I was about to say, that's why they'll never make him canon, because like spoiler alert, you kind of kill Luke and Leia in the DLC. Well, so
to be fair, that's only if you chose the dark side ending. And that's what I like about those DLCs. Like, they're
so open-ended. They're so innovative.
Continuation of the light side ending, but they're like, hey, well, if he chose the dark side, we have an extra story of what would happen if he chose the dark side. And so I love that. I love that they still gave you that option and opportunity. That also kind of
we can't have an episode without talking about Star Wars.
Of course. And now, while we're talking about older games, I would love to talk about what has happened in the gaming industry when it comes to collector's editions. I was talking to my friends about this the other day, and it genuinely is disappointing that the collector's editions went from, like, you remember like Call of Duty, you would get an RC car, and it'd be the RCXD, and
the old unboxing videos of the care package, bro.
Exactly. And then
with the Juggernog fucking refrigerator that you can buy from GameStop or Best Buy. And oh, my heart, bro, my heart. Because like, so here's the thing. I was gonna pull up like a couple tabs here, because I have a collector's edition for Mirage, and it's super sick. But you're right, bro. Like, it should, honestly, bro. If I'm paying, I think it was like $190 after tax, right? No shame in saying that. I've spent more on Apex. Calm down, guys.
The amount of money I spent on Apex, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Warzone, it's endless.
And that's the thing, bro, is that like a free game model has way more potential to earn money, because like you don't have to pay $60 on top of buying fucking $60, $120 worth of content.
Exactly.
Like, brother, what the so like I'm gonna share my screen here real quick so you can see the collector's edition, and hell, it might have even been cheaper than $190. I just remember it was a fairly decent chunk of money. You get the deluxe pack. You get the gold edition, the deluxe edition of the game. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet. I will definitely be getting that.
You get, let's see, the high quality figurine of Basim, which is what we see here, and that's super cool because, as you guys can see, I have Ivor here that I bought from Best Buy. I really wish that when I bought my Steelbook edition for the last 3, that it would come with something like this,
Right.
But it didn't. So with this one, I think there's like a little bit of hope. You know what I mean? There's people like us who are making a voice in a fucking statement in the community. They're saying, "Yo, bro, I paid for this separately than your Steelbook edition fucking maxed out option,"
Right.
Because I bought it. All of these games that I bought were through GameStop. So theoretically, if they did the same thing, I should have been able to do this as well. But there was no option for a collector's edition, and I paid the same fucking price for just a Steelbook.
Well, and
so
collector's editions used to be like that for Assassin's Creed, and then you look at Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. This is where it comes back to when I was talking to my friends about this. They're like, yeah, like it's hard to get it, but I finally got the collector's edition. I was like, oh, okay, cool. What comes with it? Like a statue or something? No, it came with like a metal poster and some collectibles. I'm like, that's really lame. Like, I'm sure
if they made a limited edition pop that like only 250 were made for the collector's edition run,
right?
That I could get behind. That's fucking. Yeah, that's dope.
That's worth getting the collector's edition of the game. But
and you're staying relevant because you're not just spending a fuck ton of money and producing a whole new product. You could collab with Funko, who already has the necessary needs and manufacturing. You know what I mean? All they need is to like your permission to use your design. You know what I mean? And bam, 250 pops just like that, and you just made yourself probably tens of thousands of dollars.
And that's the problem with collector's editions of games now, is that these gaming companies are getting lazy. It's the truth. They're getting lazy. And I understand, like, it costs a lot of money to make these games, and they've had to jack up the prices of these games. But it's like, I'm
not bashing anyone, right? But it's because consumers, in a sense, have also become lazy. They've become easily impressed, And I'll admit, you know what I mean? Like the skins on Fortnite and Apex, those are dope. But I'm more liable to pay for a Fortnite skin, for example, because it's third person and I actually get to see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
On Apex, it's literally just to flex on other people.
Yeah.
So there's I don't know.
It ruins it, because it's like, why would I get a collector's edition for some piece of paper when, like, I remember when Halo 5 came out and you got the big lock statue, and even when Halo 3 came out, you got the Master Chief helmet that you could actually put your games inside. Like, it was like a game holder.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And it was like this kind of inside little thing that you put. And it's like, what happened to things like these? Like, I don't want to get these little trinkets and little pieces of paper. And it's like, yeah, cool, I got this. I spent, instead of $89.99 Canadian, I'm spending about $160 for pieces of paper.
Yeah.
If I'm spending that amount of money, you guys got to throw in a statue. Like, that's
why, like, I'm super excited for this one, because it includes the statue, the Steelbook edition, obviously, a Baghdad map, and I'm trying to see what this booklet is. I think that's just it's art. It's a mini art book, so that's really cool. So you get like super cool stuff like that.
Imagine getting that, but not the statue. It's not really that worth it.
No, dude. I don't think if the statue is there. I mean, I probably still would have, because the Steelbook edition, I've been collecting them for the last 4 Assassin's Creeds. That's my personal take on what the Steelbooks are worth to me, though.
Steelbooks are still pretty worth it.
So,
but there's times where you won't even get a Steelbook. You'll get the case, and then you're getting everything else, like those little pieces of paper, like
plastic $5
like
produced
those.
Case.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I like those. I like the map. I love the little trinkets and stuff that come, like the piece of paper. That's nice. But
I love maps.
I would rather that with the statue than just that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like you can't convince me to spend $149 what that's listed for.
Is it supposed to be collectors? And if there's nothing to collect,
collectors, we like this. We like all our freaking Funko Pops and statues and lightsabers. Yeah,
Excuse the bong.
exactly. Like, I was kind of sad that Star Wars didn't, like, Jedi Survivor didn't have a collector's edition. But it's
No,
also,
here's the thing. They did. A lot of people bought them. They sold out so fucking quickly, though. You did
like
get you got a replica of the Fallen Order lightsaber. It came
I
in a
thought that was
case.
like a giveaway thing. I don't think it was like something you can get on the store.
No, yeah, EA was like it was a pre-order. They released it and announced it very soon within the release. Like there was not a chance for unless you had the money when they released it because there's nuttier Star Wars fans than us. As crazy as it is to say.
like stacked. There's like, all right, when this game gets announced,
they had that PayPal ready.
But it is nice that some of these gaming companies are still doing statues. Like it's nice. I didn't know there was an Assassin's Creed one still going. I kind of assumed they were still gonna do it because Assassin's Creed's been very consistent.
This was the first one in years, surprisingly, though. That's what I was saying earlier.
What about your Valhalla?
Like I said, I bought this separately from Best Buy. It was no way, shape, or form connected to a collector's edition. When I had pre-ordered Assassin's Creed Origins, there might have been a collector's edition option, but for Odyssey and Valhalla, I got the maxed out editions, and it was just the steelbook with gold, season pass, all that.
But then,
yeah,
Black Flag probably would actually no, they didn't even do it for Black Flag.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they did for Black Flag because I remember an Edward Kenway.
I remember for sure it was Assassin's Creed 3. They definitely did one for.
A lot of people were doing one for a lot of people were doing unboxings.
And same thing with Assassin's Creed Unity. They did one for Arno. I definitely remember that one. Trying to think what else, but I also do like that even the new Mortal Kombat game, they're doing a statue of Liu Kang.
That's pretty sick.
But I'm like, okay, well, at least.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, go for it.
So, I think Assassin's Creed 4 was like one of the first ones, one of the last ones that they kind of veered off from the collector's edition. But yeah, it was a limited edition that you got.
Okay.
You got a steelbook game case.
Yep,
so they still have the steelbooks. That's fucking goated. So sad I missed out on that then. So with my steelbooks, man. You get the Jolly Roger flag. Jolly Rancher. Fucking come on, man. This is why I don't smoke before the podcast.
Coming on next-gen consoles and PC.
Right. Yeah. That's so nutty that this is when the PS4 came out. Oh my god. Here you are with Mirage coming out this season. Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about. I was looking up, like PlayStation Showcase highlights.
Fair game.
And this game kind of caught my fucking eye. So it's so Haven Studios is this new company founded by Ubisoft, EA, and Stadia alumnus. So like all three powerhouses, and then I should say both powerhouses and the Stadia. And this is their first game. Fair Game is supposed to be PvPvE, where I'm assuming it's kind of like Division 2, where you're roaming around an open map and you pull off heists.
Okay.
I just was reading it.
Principle though, because like Division.
I really want
to
look more in that.
I don't know.
The controls are weird. Quick. I played it for a little bit when I downloaded it through PlayStation Plus, and I was like, the controls are really clunky. Like I probably had to configure it like in my own special way, but like off the rip, it was so weird.
And not to mention there was Foam Stars, which is Square Enix's next game, which I'm sure is just going to die off just as fast as Babylon's Fall. It's basically Splatoon. They took what Splatoon was and they just made it foam.
That's so interesting.
Instead of paint. And like it looks pretty, but it's not enough for me to get it. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, I'd rather go buy Splatoon. But one game that really shines from that showcase that wasn't like a big title and that we've already known about is Phantom Blade 0. And
Oh yeah,
it's
okay.
kind of like kung fu steampunk style, like fast paced hack and slash game, and
That's
it looks
interesting.
really cool. And I'm all for those kind of games. I'm kind of curious if it's gonna be like a Dark Souls game, or if it's gonna. I hope
I
it's just like a hack and slash.
I'm honestly not sure. That's it's interesting. I I there's a lot of games that came out recently, like multiverses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of sparked these PvE or PvP VE kind of games. So it's very interesting to see where they'll go with that one, honestly. I'm curious.
Uh, other game I'm really Ghost Runner 2. I don't know if you've ever played the Runner game.
Mm-mm.
But it is basically a fast-paced first-person sword game. You're a ninja that can run on walls, slow down time a little bit, and get hit, you're dead. Like, it's not like, oh, I can just take all these hits and I'm beatable. No, if you get shot, you're dead. You have to be really quick with it. It's very fast-paced. Um, it's definitely a game to try out.
So I'm looking through like kind of pictures of Phantom Blade Zero.
Yep.
I really hope it's kind of like Ghost of Tsushima, like Loki.
Yeah, that would be pretty.
That would be super sick. Because you already know I'm gonna torture myself with that.
Yeah. There's
Oh man, there's a lot of interesting games coming soon.
I've seen the problem is I've seen some people like comment about this PlayStation showcase and be like it's all right, it's man. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I get you're allowed to have your opinion, but you can't just like at the same time you can't just say that that showcase was meh when they just threw out Assassin's Creed 2 or not, yeah, Assassin's Creed Mirage, freaking Spider-Man 2, gameplay of Spider-Man 2, not even just like another trailer of it. They actually
that
showed
part.
you gameplay from it. And then they showed you a little bit of gameplay of Assassin's Creed. They brought in Alan Wake 2. The first Alan Wake was a really fantastic game. I attempted to play it again.
What is I've never played that one. What is that?
Alan
Sounds like
Wake.
John Wick's brother?
He looked like it. Honestly, in the trailer, he looked like John Wick.
Oh yeah, okay.
But basically, Alan Wake, you're a writer, and it's like a supernatural thriller almost.
Okay.
And so, at the entire premise of it, but you're trying to figure out something. My lightsaber is off right.
I was just kind of focusing on that. It's like, it's spazzing.
But yeah, and there's these shadow creatures, and you have to actually shine a light on them, and then it stuns them and kind of brings them back as like a normal thing, and then you have to shoot them, and that's how they die. But yeah, like I was very entertaining, and nice that they're bringing a second game back, but they're not actually doing a physical copy of it. They're doing only digital. But like, there's all these big games that are coming out, and they announced them, showed them, and they also said they're doing this hardware, which is the Project Q that we were talking about. And quite frankly, I feel like this is PlayStation's most successful unveiling since PS5 first came out 3 years ago. Like, they really.
So everybody was so hyped for PlayStation 5, and then it kind of it didn't flop in sales, but like everything came out all at once, and then like the chip shortage.
Well, and then this also comes back to the gaming industry. It's like people. So backstory. I was always an Xbox diehard fan. I would trash talk PlayStation all the time.
PlayStation Nation, bro. Fucking, where's my hat? I got a hat somewhere. If I wasn't goddamn hooked to my PC, I'd get my PlayStation hat.
But yeah, like from Xbox, original Xbox to 360 to Xbox One to the Xbox One X, I had them all. And then they did the unveiling of PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, and I said to myself, if they bring in Spider-Man 2, I'm getting a PlayStation 5. I didn't know they were doing a Miles game at the time. And that was the first thing. Literally, the PlayStation showcase. So like, Spider-Man game. First thing we're showing out. There's a Spider-Man game coming out, and it's Miles Morales. I have never smiled so much in my life until I saw that, and I was like, "This, they got me. I'm getting the PS5." And then they showed all the other games, and then Xbox One. They had all these promising titles. Not even. They had some promising titles. Still haven't come out. Don't know what happened to State of Decay 3. That was shown, and then we're just like, yeah, we forget about it. And everyone's like, oh yeah, Xbox is still better, blah blah blah. I'm like, we have quick resume. I'm like, we have a more powerful console. I'm like, great. You have a powerful console. You have no exclusives to play them. You still have no exclusives to play them. You had your big exclusive Halo be the biggest flop of that of their like console in a long time. I remember when Infinite came out and I tried to play it and I'm like, holy shit, this is garbage. This is as bad as when Halo 5 came out.
It's very interesting that you'd said that too, because I follow a creator on Facebook, and his main niche is, PlayStation has a lot of opportunities to move forward, to bring a lot of these old games back, pull on nostalgia. SOCOM mainly, because that's his favorite game.
I'd love for SOCOM to come back.
Brother, let me tell you, if they make a remake for SOCOM 1, 2, and 3, I'm buying all fucking 3 of them. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands should have been SOCOM. Let's be honest, and it wasn't.
And then let's be honest, and then you're just like, what the hell is that? But we have John Berthel.
It's like, no. Like with the free updates and like the patches they've made to Breakpoint, it made the AI a little better, and it kind of like pulls on that SOCOM feel. It's still like the environment in SOCOM. Yes, the environment in Wildlands was better than Breakpoint in my opinion, but the AI is better in Breakpoint. That makes it feel like SOCOM, which they should just make it into fucking SOCOM. That's beside the point. We're getting sidetracked. I really, really feel for Microsoft, because they have PC and everything like that. They have the PC.
They don't even really have PC.
Like, I was about to say, because they don't have a developing studio. Right. Yeah, exactly. Nobody uses the Microsoft Store.
I really don't.
I don't.
I don't. Steam, Epic Games Store, Riot Games, like that's it.
I think they're really big. Like you said, their biggest thing right now is Halo and Minecraft, and Minecraft is like his own entity now at this point as well with Mojang. You know what I mean? Microsoft did acquire Mojang, I'm pretty sure, back in 2000 something or other. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like they really lost a lot of momentum that they had with Halo, and
they
couldn't do exclusives. Dead Rising became an Xbox exclusive and almost had me wanting to buy an Xbox One just to buy Dead Rising 3. And Rise Son of Rome. There are a couple other games, but it wasn't it wasn't too much to pull towards buying an Xbox. I never broke down and bought an Xbox. You know what I did do though? Like instantly, and have wanted to buy since it fucking has been unveiled to the public, a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation 5.
Sorry, we got a construction going on out there. I'm like, you don't hear it.
Nah, it's completely fine on your end.
Okay.
My dog is definitely trolling right now. It's kind of sad to see that Xbox is losing out to games like God of War, and respectively, they should, because God of War. I haven't even finished the first one, and I'm so hyped to play the second one.
Oh man, the second one had me in tears, like genuinely in tears.
Don't tell me nothing, man. I just fucking up.
But you're right. Like PlayStation, we have God of War, we have Gran Turismo, yeah,
and now they're continuing with Spider-Man. You know what I mean? And
Spider-Man, Last of Us.
And I'll say that they had these OG games, right? Like fucking Spyro and Crash that I'm pretty sure weren't even available for the original Xbox, that they released to two other platforms to not only make more money for these, the developers, Toys for Bob and Insomniac, but Xbox still couldn't do it.
and then everyone's just like, okay, so Xbox. I was nervous about this at first when Xbox bought. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. This is actually where I'm going, where I'm starting to. They bought Activision. Everyone's like, oh no, Microsoft has Activision. We're not going to have Call of Duty. First off, I really don't care anymore. I'm done with Call of Duty. I play it once in a while.
It's not going to happen. But it's not. They're not that stupid.
No, they're not.
If they really were that stupid and tried to make Call of Duty an Xbox exclusive, you know what I would play? The one I have been playing. Apex, Fortnite, fucking.
So they bought Activision, and then they bought Bethesda. Everyone lost their shit with, even more so with Bethesda, because Skyrim, or not Skyrim, but like Elder Scrolls, Doom,
Elder Scrolls,
all those other
Fallout.
games. Yeah, Fallout, and then they released Redfall, and then you look at it and you're like, how is this a Bethesda game? What the fuck happened to Redfall? Like, I have not touched this game, and my buddy Lord Law played it and did kind of like a soft review of it, and it looks so bad. It looks like such a piece of shit game. It looks like a PlayStation 3 game with an Xbox One title.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious.
So, like, and I haven't even really, like, looked into the game because... Like I said, PlayStation Nation over here.
Yeah.
But what is the premise of the game? Like, what's the concept?
I haven't even vampires. I'm pretty sure it's vampires. I honestly, haven't really cared too much
see, okay, it. That's the game I'd kind of saw.
Yeah,
I have seen it. Then I've seen it very recently, and I thought it was. Painful. Bro, it kind of looked like Prototype 2 gameplay, not gonna lie. What the fuck? And so I'm sorry, but what the fuck? So
Bethesda has another game coming out called Starfield. Now, that looks really cool, but they showed gameplay of that, like, 2 years ago, and you haven't really heard anything about it recently.
Since the acquisition?
Yeah, and so there has been another...
They spent too much money on that acquisition.
I wish Lord Law was here, because he would know more. He's been up to date on this stuff, and that's pretty much where I get my info from, is from his posts, because he's excited for Starfield, and apparently, like, there isn't a lot of good things. Really, it's not looking good, and Bethesda's being very quiet about this game. So I'm hoping it's still going to be a good game, because that I would for sure buy on my PC. Now, I'm not getting an Xbox for it because. Honestly,
I'm not buying an Xbox.
Microsoft shot themselves in the foot, because
I'm not buying an Xbox ever.
No,
I don't think I will.
I have, like, me and you, we both have a PC. Why do we need an Xbox? If I have a PlayStation 5 and a PC, I'm golden. I don't need to buy another console. I
still need to make the upgrade.
You really
this year, man. After I build my PC, it's a PS5 because yeah.
But yeah, so, like, I have the Nintendo Switch, I have the PS5, and I have a PC. I don't need an Xbox. And there's nothing, like, what Xbox should have done is been like, hey, these are Xbox exclusives. Not Xbox and PC, just Xbox. Because otherwise, they're not getting that extra sale in that market. If people have a PC, they're just buying it for the PC. Because they know the people that get it for a PC have a powerful PC. And so it's like,
honestly though,
like, I get why they do it, just because, like, it's all over the place, and they're like, hey, if you buy it on the Xbox, you can play it on your PC later. The amount of games I have on the Xbox, and I have maybe 10 of them, and out of like 120, maybe 200 games, 10 of them I can play on my PC, and one of which I can't even install because their app is so just garbage that I can't even install the game on my computer. So it's like, you guys focus on this platform, but you can't even run it properly. What is happening? You're Microsoft. Right. Meanwhile, Sony's just cruising.
And then I'll touch on the PlayStation Remote Play, because I tried that when I first got my PC. If they were to optimize that, and we could play PlayStation games with the power of a PC.
Ooh. Well, even that, some of the PlayStation games are coming to PC. And
right, like Horizon Zero Dawn has already come there.
Yep.
So it's already been released on PC.
God of War.
So if PlayStation, you know what I mean, if they collab with not even Microsoft, but like just Steam and make their money from porting their games to PC, and I'm fine with that. Honestly, like I would love to see God of War on a 4090. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying.
Oh, 100%. And
fucking
Sony
godly.
did it right. They had their game launched for at least a year. I think the Last of Us Part 1, like the kind of remake, remaster kind of thing, it was out for about a year, and now they finally brought it onto PC. And that's a smart thing. Get those people that are already on your console, get those sales, and then
as an exclusive,
yeah.
because like I would argue that like I bought, or I can't remember if I bought or downloaded God of War when it was released on PlayStation Plus, but I'm a PlayStation Plus premium member. If they'd capitalize on that, right, and release it as a premium exclusive, like as long as you're subscribed to premium, you get to play this game for like the first year or whatever, and then you have to buy it, because if you haven't bought it in the first year, you're probably not going to buy it.
They do that.
And fucking on the PC, you know what I mean? The same thing. We'll have that, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like they'll have it as like that PlayStation Plus exclusive kind of thing if they're using their own like PlayStation Studios and collaborative studios. And like you said, make the money there. And then if the people wanted to wait a year for the PC port, bam.
Yeah. And like everything Sony's done has been right. And I wouldn't even say I don't know. I feel like they've been doing pretty well.
Here's the thing. They've been doing pretty well. But with Xbox's latest fuck up, Redfall, I feel like they've got another chance. With the latest unveiling, especially, or like the PlayStation showcase, that really has people excited for the future. It has me excited for the future because I was ready to just kind of like not even buy a PlayStation 5, if I'm being really honest. I didn't really feel not necessarily compulsion to buy a PlayStation 5, but it's like after that launch and I couldn't fucking buy one for 2 years, I gave up. You know what I mean? I wasn't that sought after, and like you said, I could just buy whatever game I was trying to buy on PC plus some.
Yeah, and I feel like that's in that aspect I don't understand, because I've had the console since launch, but I've never had to actually experience what you're experiencing, where you had to wait and you're just like, I'll just get
anytime I had the money, it just wasn't the right timing. And anytime that there was a PlayStation 5 available, I didn't have the money. So it's just like, it was fate. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion.
That's a totally fair assessment of that.
Yeah. It's so like the thing is, right, and this is my take on it. PlayStation had recently, well, not even really recently, it was like a year and a half ago, updated their software to where you don't record the PlayStation chat, or like it's more secure for PlayStation chat, as well as like you can have anyone join if you wanted to. You can have a open or private PlayStation chats. They essentially reworked it, but with reworking it, anytime I stream through my capture card, and I don't even know if this is my capture card or PlayStation, but I've talked to other people who try to also stream through a capture card on their PlayStation and be in a voice chat as opposed to Discord. Nobody's heard in the PlayStation chat besides them because their mic is set up. So that's kind of a complaint that I have on PlayStation's part, is that they fucking brought Discord to PlayStation, which is nice, but not to PlayStation 4. It's only on PS5.
Yeah,
just so you know. and that's one thing that I'm like, bro, why can't? Because when me and my friends play on PlayStation, which is like every so often, because I've switched to PC mainly now. It's frustrating. I'd probably play on my PlayStation more if they had brought Discord to PlayStation 4, but they didn't. They did it as like a PS5 exclusive, for whatever reason too. I don't know if they're just not putting money towards PS4 features or like assets anymore, but that's one thing that I'll bash them for sure.
But that's also the thing, because this has been a repeat. This is how it usually is in the gaming industry. We're on our third year of next gen consoles. That was kind of a cool transition.
Yeah.
We're on our third year of next gen consoles, and this is around the time every single time when those companies start to kind of push away the older gen. And this, for me as a next gen person, I'm glad that's a thing, because like I know a lot of people are pissed off, especially with Jedi Fallen Order, like, oh well, I can't play it on the PS4 or Xbox One. It's like, okay, but when you get the next gen console, you're having a game that will run very smooth and looks gorgeous, and they actually
Right.
can put their time and money into this game instead of spreading it out and throughout all different consoles. Like
That I'll agree with.
with
That I agree
Hogwarts,
with, because playing Jedi Survivor on the PC it was buggy at first, you know what I mean, with the frame rate issues, but it's been pretty smoothed out. Super hyped to keep
and like
playing that,
there'll probably
honestly.
be some people in the comments that will be like, "Oh, what about this game?" I will give an example of what people would probably be talking about. Gotham Knights was a next gen exclusive, and it only runs on 30 frames.
Oh, yep.
That itself was very disappointing. The game itself was fine; it was fun, but
to have a capped out game,
when you cap it at
on
30 frames on a next gen game, that's not okay. I don't know what that company was thinking and to make that okay, but even the graphics itself, they weren't that great. In the game, the graphics were good. They were next gen graphics, but they shouldn't have been capped at 30 frames. And I feel like they just rushed that game and they didn't polish it to a point where that it could be higher. Even on PC, it's capped at 30. But then you get games like Horizon Forbidden Forest, where you can get 120 frames. Star Wars, Ratchet and Clank. You get all these other games that are next gen only. Well, okay, Horizon was, but Ratchet and Clank, and Last of Us Part One, like those were next gen only games, and they look good. Even like Gran Turismo 7 I think it was that I have. Game is beautiful, oh beautiful, and it's like
I can't remember if I have Sport or 7. I think I have GT Sport,
you
which was
wouldn't
the
have
last
7.
one that came out.
7's just
Before
on the
7.
PS5.
That's what I thought. Fucking ugh.
But and that's the thing. They did it with I believe Arkham Knight was the first game for PS4 and Xbox One that they were like, it's only for PS4 and Xbox One, and everyone lost their shit. Same reaction. Everyone got pissed off. They're like, why is this only next gen? And then they saw the game and they're like, whoa, okay, let me take a step back and be like, all right, now I understand why it's only next gen. Because when something's only next gen and they're focused, like they start forgetting about their last gen stuff and they stop doing updates on that, there's more, you get more of what you're paying for.
Right. I feel that.
We just don't care about your PS4 people, okay?
I honestly think that if you didn't get a PS5 though, you would have a different take on it. I do understand that, you know what I mean? The more optimized, you know what I mean, putting their all into the next gen. I understand that. But I genuinely think that they shouldn't phase it out just after 3 years, especially with that price point. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a console. It's trying to keep up with the PC because the PC is fucking way more expensive, and it's, you know, one could argue that it's an affordable price for what it offers, right. You know, but
it's a big but.
It's a big price.
It is a big.
You know
price.
What I mean? To expect people to have, like, to expect all of your fan base to have one after 3 years and to just fucking kill everything has been a frustrating thing since PS3, bro. I've always had an issue with that, you know?
I think
I've always had an issue with that.
If they didn't have a rough start beginning, I feel like that opinion would also change. Just like with you saying that, like, if I have a PlayStation,
that's probably true. That is probably true.
Because there was such a rough start in the beginning, a lot more people are more vocal about this. But I also think that people forget that this happened back with the PS3 and Xbox 360. The exact same thing. I wouldn't say 3 years.
I wasn't even old enough to really remember. Like, I was still on PlayStation 2.
Like I wouldn't say that it was exactly 3 years, because I feel like Xbox 360 and PS3 really stretched their like of how old those things were. Um, but when they did do that, you started to see more of a higher performance,
Okay.
and that was what kind of the peak of video games, I would say. Like that was when we got like Infamous Second Son. Like that game was fantastic. You got Killzone, Shadowfall. I don't really remember the PlayStation or the Xbox. Like Rise. There was Rise. There's Forza Motorsport 4. Like you had those high quality games.
True.
It's just I would definitely pin it on the beginning of PS5. Even Xbox Series X, that one was hard to find. Not as hard as it was for PlayStation to find, but PlayStation definitely had a really rough time. And a lot
When
of
I
that
was
is
getting
also
Valhalla,
scalpers.
there was like a line outside of my local to get the Xbox Series X on the same day. So Valhalla and Xbox released on the same day, I guess.
I remember
So
almost buying an Xbox Series X, not even because I wanted it. I just wanted a next gen console. and so I found one in stock at Best Buy, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna pre-order it. And then I saw that Sony released like, hey, we're doing a second wave of pre-orders on this day. So don't I bring my laptop to work? Didn't work that. All right, I worked, but I was literally like on the edge. Brought my laptop in. I put it right under the camera so my boss couldn't see, and I'm just refreshing the page over and over again until that thing went up. And as soon as it went up, I was like, okay, cool. Bought my console. Got it all through. Got the confirmation. Made sure it was there because I like had second thoughts of like, wait, if I didn't do it. And then so I got the confirmation of the pre-order. Refreshed the page. Ended up being like an hour wait. So I like managed to be like one of the first few people to get into that site because I was just constantly refreshing it. And then so
yeah, and that was the thing is that like the high traffic was insane.
yeah,
And like you said, like if the start had been smoother, if it hadn't been as rocky as it was, you're right. I would probably have a different opinion of how they are going about phasing out the PS4 and like the older gen.
yeah,
Um, and again, it doesn't even. It still applies because I'm still a PlayStation fan and I want them to do well. It's a good. I'll touch on the subject earlier. Is like it's a good family console. You know what I mean? Um, I wish they had more split screen games though. Is
yeah.
also the thing.
That's
They
also
try to
where
make it to
Xbox lost
where
me in Halo.
everyone has to get their own console to play if it has multiplayer at all, and that's fucked.
I
That's
remember
fucked.
when I got what Black Ops Cold War, the first next gen Call of Duty, and I tried to open split screen and it wasn't working.
Mm-mm.
You had to wait for like a week or so and get it
They
updated.
they patched it. Yeah,
And
they literally tried to. They do that every Call of Duty as well. I don't know, like because I bought the last couple before I just actually gave up on it.
right,
I think let's see. I think Modern Warfare 2019 I bought, and then I didn't buy. I did end up buying Cold War, and I was like, that's kind
it's
of
okay.
whatever.
It wasn't the greatest, but all right. Also,
I
I
liked
want to
the
point out
Outbreak
like
zombies
this is still flickering, and then you can see this one is just
dimming.
slowly dying.
Yeah, mine died.
This one, the red one's just like, I'm here, still here. Okay,
I'm still kicking it, bro. I'm still kicking it. But I don't know, man. It's just
I
there's a
also
lot of things that both companies could do to make themselves more prominent in the gaming industry,
yeah,
and they're not. And it's frustrating to see that as a consumer,
for
not just
sure.
a consumer, but like as a hardcore fan. You know what I mean? Of just not just gaming, but PlayStation, bro. Like I don't want to see Microsoft do well, like, but in the same sense, I'm not going to wish bad on anybody's company or business. You know what I mean?
I honestly
Because
think
once they go out of business, PlayStation is going to start upcharging the fuck out of their things. So it's like,
I think like Xbox has a long way to go. They've really like I said, shot them. They've messed up so bad because they announced all these exclusives that they're going to be doing all these things, and they released one exclusive, and it turned out really bad. They did Gears of War 5 for the last gen, and that didn't turn out well. I beat it, but I didn't like it. They steered away from their main character and created a new character for it, and it was just, I don't know what Xbox is doing, but they're not doing the right thing. I think they should release State of Decay 3 whenever that is coming out, because State of Decay 2 was a lot of fun. Its concept is cool. It's a good zombie survival game. Like, you're building your own fortress, or not fortress, stronghold. And
Okay.
the third game
Is that multiplayer
cool.
Based, or?
I believe so. I believe it is a multiplayer based game, third person. And I would love to play it on PC. There's all these things they should have done, and I feel like they should have done a sequel to Rise. They really missed out on that, because Rise was a fantastic game, and like,
I love history games too. I feel like if PlayStation were to veer away from its weird fantasy, and I know they won't, and it's never not been their thing to veer away from fantasy or fantastical subjects, but I feel like if they were the Spartan Total Warrior, right? That was a game released back on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox days. Bro.
That's an old,
so that was,
holy crap. You just dug into my memory.
This is what I'm here for.
You're just like Dumbledore. You pull out the little friggin' goblet of like friggin' memories. You're just like, here you go, take this one.
Here's some dopamine and nostalgia. Next. So that's made by Sega and Creative Assembly, right? And I know this because I play another line of their games called Total War on the PC. Super dope if you like strategy and management games. Also super dope if you just like putting 20,000 to 50,000 men on the battlefield and try and simulate like the Battle of Hastings, for instance. Just saying. Spartan Total Warrior was like the greatest fucking game ever. And I haven't really been looking into any historical games that were released on like the PlayStation 4 or that were potentially come out on the PS5. But the History Channel, fun fact, released a line of Civil War games. I don't know if you'd played them, but it was actually like you played through like the Battle of Gettysburg and certain missions that would take you through different historical standpoints within the Civil War. And that's super cool. Obviously, there's the Medal of Honor series to touch on too, you know, back in the old days.
I remember Medal of
World
Honor.
War II.
Those games are fun.
I guess all I'm saying is that like if they were to rival something like Rise Son of Rome, and have like some more historical titles, or even, you know what I mean, they could still be like Spartan Total Warrior and bring some of that fantastical aspect or like mythical aspect to the historical aspect and make a super dope game, bro. Just saying.
Hopefully. Still waiting. I have no hope for
fingers crossed.
Just
we'll see about PlayStation though. Yeah. That's why I'm saying I have rekindled my hope PlayStation. I'm still waiting, and I'm not going to be just PC exclusive. You know, I'm still going to put $4,000 towards my new PC. But
don't worry, I'm not just exclusive. I am PC, Nintendo, PlayStation. Those are my three.
Yes, I think that's the trifecta. I think that is the winning trio, bro, because Nintendo, they have always done their own thing. They don't ever try to compete with anybody. And if anything, they try to make it more comfortable and better for the people to buy their console. You know what I mean? Like porting Call of Duty and shit to Switch.
You can tell the kind of mood that I am in when it comes to Xbox, but like I honestly feel like if Nintendo brought a new console, they would kick out Xbox out of.
If they were to like actually put out like a viable console to rival Xbox is what you're saying, like not just a handheld.
It doesn't. No, not even that. If they brought another handheld, like this, if they did the Switch, but doesn't have to be 4K. If they did maybe 1440, they increased the resolution or something, and or even did 1080p and it runs at 60 frames. I would say 1080. Let's say 1080 60 frames. If Nintendo can do that, they could defeat Xbox, because PlayStation right now is killing Xbox. PC is killing PlayStation and Xbox together.
Right.
So I feel like right now Xbox is really wounded, and Nintendo can come in and just kind of push them off the board. And
Here's
unless
the
Xbox
thing,
can do
though.
something.
I know that Steam is its own separate entity, and it is technically just a launcher, or like rather a like a platform that these PC games can be ported on, I guess.
Yeah.
But they don't technically have to go through Steam. You know what I mean? And that's, I think, why the PC game is so kind of, it's hard to not just measure those metrics, but it's hard to distinguish where Microsoft comes in the PC game. You know what I mean? Because they got fucking money. You know what I mean? No one can deny that.
Yeah.
You look up PlayStation's net worth right now, and literally the most recent acquisition with Activision and Blizzard, you know what I mean? Or Bethesda, not Blizzard. What the fuck? Blizzard is part of Activision. They just bought Activision, which means they're...
Yeah.
Anyway, so that acquisition cost more than what PlayStation is worth now. Because I only know this because I saw a lot of memes that were pulling up that stat, you know what I mean, that said, oh, Microsoft acquires Bethesda and Activision for, I think it was like $15 billion, something like that.
Okay.
It was a lot of it was a chunk of change, bro. And PlayStation's net worth right now, as it stands, I think it's like around 8 or 9 billion, like Sony, I believe, not just PlayStation. So you're counting all aspects of Sony when you're doing that. The TVs, you know, their sound systems, which their sound system is fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Never ever lack in sound.
No, they're
personally
really good on their sound system.
Razer Siren, or not Razer Siren, Razer and PlayStation headset is just like the goated thing ever, by the way.
But when it comes to Steam,
yeah,
like,
I feel like Steam is where it's at for, like, you know, most people to port their games, you know what I mean? But like I said, they don't have to
I feel like they do
really
have
go
to,
through that.
because Ubisoft tried to, like, they had their own browser, and they really tried to like leave Steam, and they trash talk Steam so bad.
Yeah.
And now they're back on Steam, and their game is like on like Far Cry 6 is now back on the store, and it's on sale for like $20, and it's like, okay,
yeah,
like, nobody's using the Ubiplay thing because it's another launcher. The main launchers I would say people are using are the ones me and you use as well, which is Steam, Epic Games, and I would say BlizzNet. Like, people would use BlizzNet for Overwatch.
Overwatch, Call of Duty.
Yeah, and so I feel like those are the three main ones. Nobody's using Microsoft's launcher because, be real, Steam is the superior one. It owns PC. It is that central unit for PC gaming.
Yeah, it's always been there.
Yeah, it started. It was one of the, it started on there. It started early, or Xbox kind of even thought about bringing their games onto PC. So when they did, they're like, okay, well, bringing it in. We're making our own launcher, but we have to contend against
CD-ROMs were a thing.
Yeah.
DVD-ROMs were definitely
DVD-ROMs.
a thing. I actually have. Let me unchain myself real quick just to pull this out. It's so funny that I still have this. It's fucking here somewhere. I'm rubbing. I know. I'm rubbing around. Here it is. Aha. So the game I was just talking about, Rome 2, actually.
Oh,
Sega,
yeah.
Creative Assembly. Fucking. I have the Steam version of it because the CD key was already used, unfortunately. So it's like just kind of a relic at this point, you know, and I've always kept it around. But I feel like, you know, if they just if there was a way that that Steam were to ever, you know, not be a thing, this is still a thing. This is still the oldest part of technology here. So,
I think this.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think this will
It's very
be the
interesting.
end of our podcast. Though we have reached our hour mark, and it is
I know.
coming.
It's so crazy. We didn't.
I looked down. I'm like, oh shit, we're like at an hour and 7 minutes. And then I'm like,
Yeah,
oh shit, I gotta go to work in an hour.
I gotta shower and whatnot. Get ready for stinky work
I know,
as
right?
well. There is one thing that I kind of want to touch on, kind of an outro.
Yeah.
Is VR. VR. We didn't really touch on that, and I feel like talking about the gaming industry as a whole, the PSVR 2 was just released, I believe.
Overly priced. Yep.
Yes.
It's more than the
but
PlayStation, which is fucking ridiculous.
That's insane, actually. What the hell?
Um,
So I guess that kind of answered my. What I was gonna ask is like what you see going in the future, and I guess Oculus or the Meta Quest, whatever.
I've had the first PlayStation VR, and I've had the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Quest 2.
Okay.
Fantastic thing. I would like Oculus Quest 2. I'd say was way better than PlayStation VR. That's also because PlayStation VR was still using the PlayStation 3 Move controllers that had the little ball on the top. They didn't have like the finger sensors, um, which the PlayStation VR 2 now has, and I feel like that's great. But they're kind of missing out on some of their VR stuff. Like they're kind of focusing more on just VR games that they've already done and the newer ones.
Mm.
I feel like if they made it an attachment that you could put it to your PC, it would be different. It would be definitely a bigger contender because when I had my VR, I went on like the Oculus store and did Climb, like the Climb game, which is a lot of fun. I went on VR chat and met a lot of people on VR chat, some
Mm.
of which are now like my actual good friends and fellow streamers. I don't think you can do VR chat on PlayStation VR. I don't think they
I
will
don't think you
ever
can.
do that either, just because kind of a gray area with VR chat because it is definitely not for kids.
I was about to say it's unfiltered.
Yeah. Uh, but I feel like their price point for the PlayStation VR is way too much. It's unrealistic. You can't just go and charge. The console is one thing to charge for $800. That I get because it's a lot of work in that. But now you're saying that you have to get the headset, another $800 Canadian, and you need the PlayStation 5.
I don't. So I'll touch on that. A little bit of a hot take, right? The PlayStation 3 when it was first released was like $700, and then the Xbox 360 a year later competed directly with them with a $600 price point or like a $500 price point, which caused PS3 to literally drop their price point not only after being released for a whole year, but to compete with Xbox.
Right.
When the PlayStation 4 released, I feel like that's why they did better and sold like fucking hotcakes. Not just because Xbox had already kind of proved that they were losing the console war, but like everybody wanted those PlayStation exclusives, like we were talking about earlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Xbox Canadian it was $5.99, and then PlayStation Canadian was $4.49.
Mm-hmm. It was extremely like cheap,
Yeah.
and for the better games and arguably performance wise, it still stood up. Like it's still, I would say, and I'll give Xbox their bones here that the extra $50, extra $100 could arguably be towards the performance, but
It was also they went
consumer
more of like
standpoints, man.
entertainment.
Right. You got to go like it was like you said, family friendly, and you could do a lot of cool things with the safety controls. You know, there's a lot of integrations. Discord came like right off the fucking bat, pretty much on the Xbox, if I'm not mistaken. No,
no,
okay.
they didn't start.
They still have that.
Still recent, I would say in the last like years when it came onto Xbox, but
I'm just salty about that.
It was like a third-party app that you could connect to Discord through. It wasn't actually a Discord app. But no, when Xbox One came out, they were more of a media-based console. They decided to change their mind halfway through its lifetime. because they
with
were
the
like, hey, you can
Xbox
connect it to
Series
your
S and everything else.
when it first came out. They're like, you can connect to your TV and you can have your game going and then also play watching TV at the same time. You can voice commands at the Connect. It was very much an entertainment box, not a video game box.
That makes
And
sense.
then they started to push the Connect out and get rid of it and discontinue it. And then they went focusing back onto gaming because they realized people aren't wanting an Xbox for entertainment. They want it for gaming.
Right.
And that's what killed Xbox in the console wars. Or the console wars.
Right. There wasn't even another one. Let's be honest. I always stuck with the winning team anyway.
But that's what screwed them over in the end.
Well, and that's what I think. That's why I think PlayStation like also has a right to charge what they are charging for the PlayStation 5 and disgustingly the VR 2. But I just don't. I think they could still. I still think that they have. They could have had a better thing going for them, charging like $50 to $100 less, like they did with the last gen. That's why they did so prominently in the last gen, and we're able to fund these super dope studios and games like Ghost of Tsushima, God of War. You know what I mean? The fucking Horizon Zero Dawn series, Last of Us 2, Last of Us Remastered, things like that.
So I'm just kind of pulling up a comparison.
Just my hot take.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm just pulling
PlayStation
up a
4
right now.
made, I think it was like 34 to $80 million, and PlayStation 5, as it stands, has made 30 million.
Yeah. Well, so the PSVR 2, they're charging what, $799, I think. The Oculus Rift S, they're charging for $549.
That's pretty cushy.
Like, I feel like that's the price that PlayStation should be charging their headset for. Because the Oculus Rift, you're saying a PC headset,
it's gonna be better performance and it's cheaper.
And it's gonna run way better on your PC, because obviously if you're getting a VR for your PC can handle it, and
it's optimized for it.
Yeah,
right.
And like, I get it. Like, the PlayStation 1 can run off with 4K and haptic feedbacks on the controllers. That's great, but it's a lot of money to be expecting people to spend almost $1,400 on between two consoles.
Yeah, that's
I'd
insane.
rather spend...
that's literally as much as a PC that you could buy, and then during tax season buy your VR set. Like, let's be honest.
You can even just get a Meta Quest too, which is the one that you don't even need a PC or anything for. It's just the headset itself. You can get that for
my friend has
$300.
those. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's actually really cool. I played Vader Immortal on that. Oh my god!
Like, the graphics on it are surprisingly very well done, and for $300, I would say that's worth it more than getting a PlayStation VR 2.
And it only gets a little bit hot.
Not even. It doesn't even get that bad.
Once it starts dying, I've noticed from my friend, it just kind of gets a little warm. Like I said, it's not even like you said hot. It's I'd say the PS4 Pro gets hotter than
spicy.
The Meta Quest.
but
yeah, wow, gaming industries, man, fucking gaming industries. They all better step it up. Friggin' A. We didn't even really touch on broken games and developers, but I guess we can talk about that.
We can do that for part 2. I feel like the gaming industry is not going to be just a one episode thing. I think we're going to do multiple episodes on this.
I had a couple of talking points that we didn't even I didn't even look at, bro. I was like,
save them for the next one.
Oh yeah, part 2 next week, and I will not sleep through it, guys. I promise.
I don't know.
Possibly,
I'm gonna send everybody after you.
No, here's the thing. I have a vacation next week for the just a little self promo here for Subathon, celebrating 2 years on Twitch. Technically, that happened last month, but
gotta do what you gotta
do. A lot of setbacks, and we have the Darth Vader lightsaber now. So,
action.
Yes. Yeah. Next week episode.
I will
next
put a
Wednesday.
Link in the description. Look at
Spotify.
This face.
Look at this kid, dude. Look at this guy. We're both pointing opposite ways on the stream, right?
Say, you're over here. What are you doing?
No, you're over here. You're over there. All right. This has been a fun episode. Of course, I'm the Don.
And
you guys.
I am the BaZz.
Y'all stay legendary.
out, everyone.